All right. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a consumer or a producer. It's so much debate around what they call annoying online ads, right? You got people complaining about getting messages in their DM. It's called the direct message, I think, right? So they have a direct message, they get a direct message, they complain about it. And they say, hey, they're sending me an ad. This is spam, right? What do you call spam? Right now, type in the comments, what is spam to you? Okay? What is spam? See, because I'm Pasha Paroh. This is YNet7. We great. I'm a critical solutions expert. All right. And we're going to get into the expertise of the real solution because we got a real problem here. We got a real problem here and we need to resolve it. And it's going to take some mindset changes to do that. People are so afraid. They've been pushed into fear of someone selling them something that they don't realize that someone sold them the concept that people shouldn't be selling you anything. Now, hold on. I know the value. There's extreme value in relationship marketing. Check out the book by Martin Brossman, right? My guy. However, how do relationships start? And see, this is where you start to realize the insanity factor. So what we're going to do, I want to go over how the relationships start so that we can get into executing a valuable relationship marketing strategy after you read the book, Relationship Marketing 3, The Ground Game for Small Business Success by Martin Brossman to help you out. But how do relationships start? And then let's look at the evolution of advertising real quick to see where we came from, where we are today, but more importantly, Simon Sinek, let's take a moment and agree on where we're trying to go, right? Because then we'll see the value and why we have to change our current thought process as a community. Okay? Now let's get to it. So, how do you meet people, right? I got 5 random forms of communication for you that start off relationships. Okay? What do you think they are? If they're on the list right now, if you had to make a top 5 list, what would it be? Let me know in the comments below. Let's see if your list matches the list I came up with, okay? So we put the top 5 forms of random communication that starts a relationship on a billboard. What would you think that list would be? What would be on your list? Because see, we gotta address the insanity of the complaints, because when we're emotional, right? When you're not in control of your emotions can be weaponized against you. And if your emotions are weaponized against you, then they're weaponized against the community, because now they have you programmed and your output is affecting the community. The question is it positive or is it negative based on where the community is trying to go? So if we put it on the billboard, we got complementing a shared interest. And this is in no particular order of rank. But here are 5 random forms of communication that kickstart relationships. Great relationships at that. Complementing a shared interest. You know, you're having a conversation, complimenting someone's shared interest. Great icebreaker. People tell me all the time, they like this They like this jacket me and Kichi design, right? Sketched out the drawing. She went to work, produced it. Boom. Great conversation, great icebreaker, great marketing, great promo, right? You see? That's an investment in your mental health and your business at the same time, your brand. And it's a collaboration with another artist. That's good. That's good community building, right? That's nation building. Little Pasha there. You remember, check out the Facebook page back when it first came in and we were designing it. You see all the images. See? Get to promote people in your community. Great icebreaker. You like football, you like basketball, etc. Number 2, friendly greetings while waiting in line. You ever been in line, say hello to someone? Okay. Act like you know. Number 3, asking for recommendations. Right? Seeking a recommendation, you're asking your buddy, or even sometimes random strangers, what's a great restaurant? Book, movie, local place to visit if you're out of town or even in town, just want something different to do, right? People enjoy sharing their experiences and preferences, letting you know about them, right? Commenting on the environment. One of the most easiest ways, number 4, is to simply say, how's the weather? Compliment the weather. Talk about the weather. Complain about the weather. Right? Really easy. Great relationships started, many of them, based on a conversation about the weather. It's that simple. Right? So, number 5 is offering help or assistance. Now, this right here, I need you to take note of. I need you to take note of this. Number 5 is offering help or assistance. See, because providing assistance or asking if someone needs help can often times create an instant connection. You might think of things as simple as, hey, holding the door for someone, helping to carry their groceries. But what about offering to assistance with a task? Oh, you mean like what you do for your brand or business or service could be offering assistance with a task. You do hair. You offer to help them with their hair. Maybe you do marketing. You offer to help them with your marketing, with their marketing. Maybe you're a mechanic. You let them know you'll be there to assist them with the task of repairing their automobile. Now let's go a little further. Small acts of kindness. Hey, I'll give you 15% off. That's a small act of kindness. You're turning that into promotion, right? They all, now go back to the way most people think, right? Helping with the groceries, all this, but the parallel is offering help or assistance can lead to a conversation and potentially the start of a new relationship. So with that alone, if this was a court case, we have established in Exhibit 1 through 5 that offering help or assistance is a great way to start a relationship, to be social. However, per Statista website, Statista survey shows that online ads annoy 41% of respondents because they're insane and they got people that don't know any better coaching their codependency for popularity, for monetary gains. And it just creates a lot of ignorance because we don't know why. And because we don't know why, you believe your emotions are correct. But let me show you now how damaging ignorance can be. Okay? Let's go for the journey, people. Come with me. Pasha Paroh. So look, right? Let's take a look at this. Yes, 41% of respondents say that online ads are annoying. All right, cool. We're going to look at why, right? We're going to go dive into psychology because that's what marketing and branding is. And if people were really good at marketing and branding, they would know this psychology, right? But it's okay because there's levels to everything. Some people need cookie cutter shit, right? So then they go to the cookie cutter people. But when you need an expert, when you need a solution, you come to Pasha Paroh, critical solutions expert. All right, let's get back to it. So 2022 Statista data shows that 32% of respondents actually like billboards and 9% like them a lot. So you got to ask yourself, what's the difference between a billboard and an online ad? Nothing. Right? Nothing. Once you strip away the emotional shit, nothing. But let's take a look here. Don't take my word for it. Let me get this on the screen for you. Slow down. And I know you like all the, not you, this is Y97. But for the people that's new to the channel, that want all that, fancy production, I'm growing. Go back and look what the videos used to look like 4 years ago. Okay? This is part of why people need to shut up and embrace. But I'm going to get into that psychology. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you how this DM situation, you're looking at it backwards and why you should embrace it and be proud of the people hitting you up in your DM. One moment, though. All right? So we like to take our time here. I do everything by hand myself. It's handcrafted video broadcasting, dude. All right. So here, I'm going to share this for you. And let's get to some of this information. So the history of advertising, right, from print to the internet. It's a great website. Check it out, right, if you want some information. They're not going to tell you they got it from Pasha. All right, so advertising changed a lot over the past couple of decades due to switching traditional print to the internet, which has introduced new technologies to more efficiently and accurately deliver advertisements to customers, right? People like you get the message. People like us send the message. All right. While advertising agencies have always been a key element to advertising campaigns, their role has been threatened by the emergence and growing popularity of advertising technology. Okay. So basically, look, however, by tapping into the potential of ad tech and enormous amounts of data, agencies can hold their ground and remain an indispensable partner for each brand, something they've been doing for over 230 years. Now, just think about that. Ad agencies have been sending the equivalent of a DM for over 230 years. And you think your complaints today mean something? Because what? All it did is change form. But hold on. I'm going to tell you why I have to break your vision of it like that. I have to destroy that, your justification for feeling annoyed, so I can tell you why it's valuable. Just give me a minute. All right. So in this post, we'll take a look at the history of the advertising agency, how its role has changed since then, blah, 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 right? So what's an advertising agency? That part's not important. The history of the advertising agency, right? Originally, before the bona fide advertising agencies was born, ads were delivered to various media outlets through representatives who in the early days of advertising sold and resold advertising space with markup. These were the humble beginnings of the fully fledged advertising companies, i.e., agencies. With time, such individuals would take on more responsibilities, planning, writing, designing, and coordinating, plus an array of other services. Now, if you ever watched the movie, or not in the movie, but your grandma had you watching the TV show Bewitched, then he was working for that. The guy was working as a advertising campaign designer, right? He was designing billboards for clients, and it had accounts and all that good stuff, right? So how much you think that cost? How much you think that costs? So the first agencies date back, remember, they were planning, writing, designing, and coordinating, plus an array of other services. Plus, they had to print it. Plus, they had to install it onto the billboard or magazine, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So it tells you when the first agencies were, blah, 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 1840, 1786. All these good dates go way back, right? Look at this. Now, this is a time when people they wanted information. They didn't think they knew everything. There wasn't even much to know in some cases. And you can tell that by the ad. Look at this ad. Wife preservers. Kind of catchy if you know what the life preserver, right? But if we look at it here, it says the telephone at that time, the telephone can be a wife's best friend, helps her get everything done, saves her wrinkles, saves her time, saves her budget too. A bargain without the hunting. We may be the only phone company in town, but we try not to act like it. AT&T. Is this not the equivalent of a 1950 social media post? Is this not the artwork and a quick message that you might get in your DM today? I mean, aside from it being a corded phone and whatever this stuff is on the counter, that's the only difference. All right, here's a billboard. Army, be all you can be, right? Join the Army today. Don't this look like a post you would see on your social media page, people? Right? Morton Salt, when it rains, it pours. I got to look into this one and study a little more. When it rains, it pours, but it's salt and the rain. It's been the logo forever, so it must be doing something right. I'd walk a mile for a camel. Right? The more you hear, the better we sound. AT&T, reach out, touch someone. All right? So, you get the picture there. That's what the billboard was. Okay? It was like the first DMs. Now, how similar are they? Well, 50 years ago, billboards were known for their bold and attention-grabbing visuals. Like that was state of the art at the time, cutting edge. They had vivid colors, large text to capture audience's attention. It kind of sounds like your digital marketing. So DMs and social media posts today similarly rely on catchy visuals to stand out in user feeds, memorable graphics and imagery, right? And that's the issue. The thing is, you're wanting to stand out, not fit in. So when you have, as a small business owner, when you have someone telling you how to fit in, when the solution for you is to stand out, you got to ask yourself, do they really get and understand you, your goals, and challenges? When they're telling you how to fit in, oh no, people get annoyed when they're not thinking, because guess what? People get annoyed with stuff they don't want when they don't want it. And what we know is that oftentimes people need what you have. They just don't know they want it. So what happens is, even in the greatness, which is, don't get it wrong, like you got to start the relationship. So the DM could be the start of the relationship. But then when you look at and execute relationship marketing to actually truthfully build a relationship, you're really investing in the time difference in the interim to grow, learn, and this and the other, until they reach a point where they realize you're what they wanted all along. Now, what does that look like? What it looks like is someone scrolling, they get a DM about, I don't know, something they don't need. A refinance on a home mortgage, but they live in an apartment. That's annoying. Like, why did you send that to me? Is their first thought. However, 2 weeks later, they're talking to their friend or family or coworker who's talking about they're looking to refinance. Then that ad flashes back in their mind, and they say, oh, I saw this ad the other day about so-and-so, this business, that business, they got this deal going on with this tax incentive, and you know what I mean? You should reach out to them. They don't even realize, most people don't even realize 2 weeks after the fact, that while they were talking shit about getting the ad, the Most High, if you want to put it in the perfection of the Most High, they got that ad because 2 weeks later, it was the conversation piece that helped save their friend from that situation. But see, when you're selfish, you start to think about everything about you versus the community. So let's say you get that ad and you're like, you know what? I don't need to refinance a home, but let me just, that was cool. I like the way the little picture looked. And you take time to just appreciate it. Like somebody created that, somebody thought it up, and then you say, okay, cool. You scroll to the next one or whatever. Now 2 weeks later, like, hey, you understand why that came to you. Maybe it wasn't for you, but it was for them, your friend, your coworker. Now they're able to go get that refinance, and they're coming back grateful for you that the ad was done so well that even though you were annoyed by it in their issue. Okay, so let's keep going. So the billboards, right? They both have short and concise messaging. You know what I mean? They had limited space on the billboard. You got limited space on the phone screen. Okay. Now I'm painting a picture to show you how they're the same, because we got to ask ourselves psychologically, if 32% of respondents like billboards, how then, right? That's 32%. So it does leave, 68% to be looking at them negative. How many of that 68% is the same? Does the 41% come from that say they don't like online ads? Are those people the same people? See, because what people do is they'll sell you something. They're like, yeah, no, you're doing it all wrong. You don't need to just send a DM. You don't need to put an online post. This is what you need to do. Come with me, right? Which is not necessarily wrong. It's just not the whole picture. It's not the infinity. And they'll show you, 41% of people like or are annoyed by online ads. We're gonna get to why in a moment. It makes sense until we change what we're thinking and what we see the value and the purpose of them for is. But if 32% like billboards, The question is, are the 41% that are online are annoyed by online ads, are those 41% the same ones that are annoyed by billboards and any other type of ads? But see, when you make the question, the statement of, oh, it's 41% that are annoyed by online ads, it kind of gives a negative connotation. But guess what that means? 59% aren't. 59% are not annoyed by online ads. So are you positive or are you negative? Well, right? So here's the magic that we're really looking at here. Wait, I don't need this. We go to chapter 2 in Martin's book, Taking Control of Word of Mouth Advertising, right? It starts off with, do what you do so well that people can't resist telling others about you. A quote from Walt Disney. In this book, here's a book. So if you do it so well that people can't resist telling others about you, isn't that how you wound up in the example I gave a moment ago, helping your friend with the refinancing situation? Because it was done so well that even though it annoyed the out of you, you still were able to tell them about it and help them in their situation. Value added. All right, so let's run through this list of comparisons some more, and then I want to get into some psychology, and then I'm gonna tell you what we need to do going forward. Okay? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what we need to do. Pasha Paroh, critical solutions expert. All right. Let's take a quick commercial break. Little samples of some work here. Get at me for your logos, marketing panels, overall branding, music, etc. All right, let's get back to this. So a couple other scenarios is brand recognition, right? 50 years ago, billboards were effective for building brand recognition through consistent use of logos, taglines, and distinctive brand elements. Do I have to ask what that sounds like to you in today's world? Right? Social DM posts, same. Frequency for recall. Okay, the repetition of seeing the billboards along common routes or locations contributed to better recall among the audience. Okay, so the more the merrier. Keep putting it in front of them, and it helps jog their memory. Same thing with the DMs today. Now, interactivity though, here's the good stuff. Here's where there's a split. Here's where they differ. Billboards were static. You know what I mean? They were one-way communication, and they were stuck in a spot. You only saw it when you went by, so you kind of had a lot of dependency on things that were out of your control. Interaction was limited to visual observation. But social media marketing allows for two-way communication. Users can engage with posts through likes, comments, and shares, creating a more interactive experience. You get targeting and personalization now. You didn't have that with a billboard, right? Digital marketing offers advanced targeting capabilities, allowing businesses to tailor content to specific demographics, interests, and behaviors for a more personalized approach. Not to mention, you get the measurability factors and analytics to refine your attempts to make greater ROIs. Cost and accessibility. So like we talked about, erecting a billboard was expensive, but social media marketing, including DMs, is more cost effective and accessible to businesses of all sizes. And this is why it's so important that you appreciate the people that are in your DMs promoting their small business. Absolutely. Pasha said it. Let's look at why. Oh yeah, they're not gonna like that I'm sharing this information with you, but I'm sharing it with you because it's value added for the community. It may not be value added for the people trying to extort you. I ain't gonna say extort you, but play on your ignorance, play on your emotions. So billboard advertising costs are typically charged monthly, and they can range anywhere from $250 on a rural out in the middle of nowhere highway to upwards of $50,000, probably more now, in Times Square. The average cost runs about $850 a week. Or excuse me, $850 for 4 weeks. Now, you just started a business. You just started doing hair. You got a little shop, maybe you're doing it in a little shed out in the back of your home, for starters. Whatever. You want to build your brand. You want to build your brand awareness. Do you have $850 a month for a billboard with people that are going to ride by that don't like how you do your hair, don't get their hair done, men, women, whatever? You have no control over who sees it, etc., etc., etc. Versus being able to go into the DM, tell somebody that you are maybe not know, but connected due to social media. I'm starting doing hair. I got this. I do that. Look at my work. Rock with me. What's up? Why is that important? It's important because it allows you to start growing your business and your brand at a cost-effective way, especially in the beginning when you're just getting started. Because with the big boys paying all this money for promotion, driving up the price, New York's Times Square, ads everywhere, you can't afford to promote that way in the beginning. All right? So when an ad agency tells you not to send your message to a DM, it's because they're not in touch with the infinity of reality yet, and they're probably selling you that cookie cutter solution based on normative social influence. Pasha Paroh, critical solutions expert, we're informatively socially influenced, right? It make sense. And if you're just starting out, it makes sense to send a DM. But here's the psychology of why people get upset, right? People get upset because of the overwhelming volume. So the sheer volume of online ads bombarding them on all the different platforms. But that's a reflection of their consumption of things that they're not interested in. Because if you're not interested in Pasha Paroh, if you don't like Pasha Paroh, if you don't like Pasha Paroh trying to grow or working to grow a music platform or outputs or products, if you don't like that Pasha Paroh won multiple court cases himself, and he's going to talk about that sometimes. If you don't like Pasha Paroh really has a great affection for psychology so that he can know how to be true, the difference between being true and being manipulated. If you don't like what Pasha Paroh stand for, then chances are you're not going to really like when Pasha Paroh sing you something related to who he is and or what he stands for. So why are you following Pasha Paroh? So the people that are complaining about the DM you sent them, they really don't like you. So that's their own fault, because if they liked you, they would be least supportive of, yo, man, I don't need that right now, but I see you doing your thing. Keep it up, big guy. That's what's up. Or I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to share it for you. I'm going to do something. Even if it's just enjoy the fact that you being creative, right? And looking to grow to add value to the community. So basically, the question you got to ask is: the 41% of people that are annoyed by, are they annoyed because they following the wrong people, or they following you because they hate you, or all the wrong reasons, basically, right? Then once you get rid of the people that you don't like, basically what I'm getting at, from your feeds, from being connected to you, then you won't get as many messages. Like, don't be a DJ, don't be a music gatekeeper, and then complain because someone's trying to sing you their music. If you don't want people to sing you their music, don't get into the music industry. I don't care if you're a DJ, a radio host, even an artist, because if someone hears your song and likes your song, they're going to sing you their song so that you can try something, listen to it, give them some feedback. Maybe y'all want to do a song together. Maybe you make a beat, they make beats, whatever. What the fuck are you complaining about? How dumb is that? What it boils down to is that people have very little control over things in their life. So they're actually on a public platform, right? Complaining about public communication. And they don't realize it. That's really how dumb it is. Because they have no control over other areas of their life. So they want to take out their frustration on the fact that they're going to want to feel like they can regulate their inbox. That's how little control they have over the rest of their life, that they have to take it out on their DM on social media. They take out all the rage. They hate their job, they hate their boss, they hate their life at home, they hate their wife or husband, and now they're mad at you. They're going to take it all out on you because you sent them a message they didn't ask for, until 2 weeks later when they realize they need that shit. Or the same person that complained about the last 50 DMs they got that they didn't need, if they actually were in a bind and needed their hair done that day in an emergency situation, and so you sent they might actually appreciate it. Oh shit, I've been looking for this. I need something like that. Let me check this out. Boom. That's the people that tell you, they'd be like, yo, I'm so glad that this I got this message. I don't normally check or trust DMs or check these messages, but I'm so glad I checked this message today because I was looking for this, and let me tell you, it was the greatest thing ever, and I'm so glad that it happened that way, and blah 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 blah. The same thing with relationships. You got people talking about how dumb it is, how thirsty you are if you DMing some chick or DMing some dude, and then 50 DMs later, they be like, I don't normally check these DMs or respond to these messages, but something said that this might be the one, and I checked it. Now they married with 7 kids. So what happens is they don't understand how hypocritical they are, because they can only see very short distance in that moment. So they can only see 10 feet around their little head swivel. They don't know in a 5-mile radius, 15,000 people an hour are benefiting from the same thing and adding value to the community in the same fashion. Right? That's the problem. Relevance and intrusiveness. So the issue is that the ads feel intrusive or irrelevant to the user's interests, and that could be their source of frustration. Right? Like I said, they're gatekeeping their little online space, not realizing it's a public domain. They're trying to make it private. Okay. Negative past experiences, right? Previous encounters with misleading or low quality ads contribute to general distrust of online advertising. Again, go back to the marketing. Do it so well, right? And a key thing to that is even that has its own infinity, because some demographics and some products, the relationships would be best for it to look at a lower quality, because it'll appeal to those people better if it was in a lower quality presentation than if it was some Hollywood blockbuster presentation, right? It would make more sense to them in this fashion. So the thing is, you can't be true. You heard me say it all the time here. You can't be true without consideration of the infinity. So when you got people telling you don't do this, don't do that, never do this, they don't never say never. Nothing is anything, and anything is everything. You know, that same chick that complained to you, or the same dude complained to you for 6 months about DM ads, all of a sudden gets one for paint and sip. Get a paint and sip DM. Oh, honey, look, on the 22nd, they're having paint and sip. You know, I happen to be on that weekend. You want to go? Well, where, you know, now there's alcohol involved and you like to drink. You know, you never painted. You just want to drink and go out and think you're going to get some tail. Now, all of a sudden, the DM ad ain't so bad. Why? Because it makes you look thoughtful, like you care and we want to go out and enjoy the night. Right? Now it's not so bad. It's something you think you need. Oh, well, it's something you think you need or could benefit from. So now it's not so bad. It's the same action. All right. That's why it's retarded. Because when it's something you want, it's no complaint. Okay. Now, what they do, the good thing is online ads, they're a valuable tool, as we point out, for a lot of people, because a lot of businesses can't afford the $5 million per second Super Bowl advertisement fee. So they got to DM you until they get that big. But it allows them to give you, the community, information about their products, services, community events, like Paint and Sip. Excuse me. Now, informed communities are more engaged. So what we need to be informing our communities is that we're talking job creation and economic growth. And here's where we get serious. I know you didn't think about it like this. But by acknowledging the role online ads play in supporting businesses and fostering sustainable communities, individuals can shift their mindset from annoyance to recognizing the positive impact these ads have on the local economies and communities' well-being. Because the successful online advertising can lead to that small business growth and development, thus creating jobs in the community, opportunities that wouldn't have otherwise been there, and economic development. That enhances the socio-economic fabric of our communities, promoting sustainability. You guys that are complaining and crying and whining and are destroying or anti, you are the ops of sustainable communities. So you got to ask yourself, do you want to go to war with everybody that can't afford a Super Bowl ad? Do you want to go to war with everyone that cannot afford a Super Bowl ad? Because what we doing here at White 7 community is we're promoting sustainable communities. So we need you to start accepting those DMs. We need you to start seeing who needs what came to you in the DM, even if you don't. We need you to start sharing the information so that the community can be more informed about options and alternatives. We need increased awareness of what our community has to offer. And you can either be a part of that or just admit that you're against it. Just admit that you're against everyone that can't afford a Super Bowl ad. Just say it. Just put it in the comments so we can know who you are. Otherwise, even if you don't like it, you now know why you need to accept it for value. Because we're trying to build something here with the tools that we have, with the resources that we have. Not what someone told you to believe. You a consumer, they told you, oh, this is how an ad should look. You should pay this person $5 million for a year to hold your product up on a TV screen. Go let woman or man Tyler Perry, Madea film it at the studio and have a $500 million budget and then put out the ad. You're expecting someone to go through all that to share some information with you? Who the fuck do you think you are as a customer or as a random person to demand someone that lives next door to you to spend $50,000 a month to tell you something about them? And when you look at it like that, you gonna start to respect the people hitting you up in a DM because they're keeping the cost down so they can provide their products and services to the community at a reasonable rate so that they can have added value while you probably ain't doing shit but complaining. Now that's the difference between a transactional leader, a transactional coach telling you what you should do, and a transformative. We're about transformative leadership. Okay? And right now, we not, if you not part of the 1%, you don't have the same budget to market. So I appreciate you for DMing people. I appreciate you for making your Facebook posts. I go to your page. It don't show up on my algorithm. You don't show up on my timeline. I go to your page. I click the like button. I purposely put the little comment. I put the trophy map on there saying that's great direction. That's a great destination for us. That's what trophy map mean to me. Go on Facebook. It's Pasha Paroh. Let me know if you need some logo designs. I put the same quality as the $1 million, Pepsi ad. Pepsi paid $1.2 million for their logo. I'm gonna give you the same psychology because the community needs that to become sustainable. Unless you like big government telling you what to do, unless you like Walmart threatening to pull out of your community and that be the only shop in town because you don't have any other small mom and pop stores, so they got you held hostage as a little town or even some parts of a big city. Some people don't have any other options to turn to if we don't get this right. And you up here complaining about someone sending you a DM telling you what services they can provide or how they can help you, which we discussed earlier, was number 5 on a list of random ways to start a relationship. That's why it's insane. That's why. Number 5 is offering help or assistance. So if someone hits you with a DM telling you how they can help you, it doesn't mean that you need their help. It means that they broke the ice in a way that was one of at least 5 ways to start a relationship, which is offering you help or assistance. Now, do you need the help or assistance? Do you know someone who needs the help or assistance? Or do you like the way they put it together? Do you like the art? Did you think it was funny that the guy's falling off the cliff in the picture? Find something that you like about the shit. Support that shit. Otherwise, shut the fuck up and let these people build their businesses and brands with the budgets they have and the only way they know how, or else send them a fucking Cash App so that they can go afford a magazine ad or a publicist to write an article for $500 and get it in a local magazine, because you guys Not you, Y97, but they're so stupid that they read a magazine and think that someone actually got merited a lot of that stuff. Like 85% of what you read an article on or some promote, is a published event, meaning that someone paid for it, just like they paid for marketing. And that's how they wound up in there. Someone paid to write the article, and then part of the budget went to pay to get the article into the whatever magazine or promotional thing you're reading it on. But because you don't know nothing, they don't know nothing. So now they mad at you because you sent a DM telling them that you could do hair. Why they gonna send me a DM? They should go and be in the magazine, get promoted like everybody else. No, fuck that. They don't have the budget and they struggling to build something, and you ain't doing shit, but you trying to work for the man all the rest of your life, or corporate America. When I say the man, I'm talking about corporate America, the United States corporation. We trying to build America. Now, you United States citizens might want to start supporting that. So yes, someone sending you a DM about the product or service they offer is highly valuable at this present time, at this critical junction in our transition from transactional leadership, transactional concepts to transformative ones, so that we can have sustainable communities. I'm Pasha Paroh, critical solutions expert, reducing codependency on large government and big corporations by empowering the people to create sustainable communities. And one tributary of that is the small business sector. So you're either supporting the future of America, or you supporting the attempted hijacking of America by the United States corporation. Just let us know in the comments below, which side are you on?